Today I'd like to do a flashlight review. This one features the ThruNite Catapult V6 mini thrower rechargeable flashlight. I've actually been testing this one now for the past 7 months. I'm a little late to the game, but I've done a lot of testing on it, so much that I had to buy a second one because I beat up the first one a little bit too much. It even was left in a pool of battery fluid for an extended period of time, and it kind of eroded all the paint of it. So I'd like to give this one away at the end of the video. So for this video, we're going to go through all the main features. It has an advertised output of 1700 lumens with a max beam distance of 750 meters. It uses a 5000 milliamp hour battery, and it is rechargeable. So we'll go through all the main features. We'll do some Lux testing, some field testing, some runtime testing, and more. So let's get started now with this review featuring the ThruNite Catapult V6 rechargeable flashlight. Let's go over the size and weight of the ThruNite Catapult V6. It weighs in at 10.2 ounces, which is 290 grams. For the dimensions, it has a length of 5.2 inches, which is 132 millimeters. The bezel diameter is 2.3 inches, or 58 millimeters, and the tube diameter is 1.3 inches, or 33.5 millimeters. The head of the flashlight is a little too large to carry in your pant pocket, but it fits great in your jacket pocket or in your EDC bag. The flashlight features an advanced Cree XHP35 LED for great light efficiency. It has an advertised max output of 1700 lumens and an advertised max beam distance of up to 750 meters, which we'll be putting to the test later in this video. It features a smooth reflector since it's a thrower. It also has ultra clear tempered glass lens with anti-reflective coating made of aircraft grade aluminum body structure with tactical knurling for grip, and then it runs on a single ThruNite 26650 5000 milliamp hour battery that also features reverse polarity protection designed to protect it from improper battery installation. Just a few more specifics on the LED. Again, it's the XHP35 LED, which is part of the XHP, which stands for Extreme High Power Series. It's built on Cree's SC5 technology platform, which radically lowers the system size and power required to achieve high-density LED lighting. Because the silicone dome is missing, the emitter is very flat. I'm going to include a link to the budget light forward page for this particular LED for all of the flashlight nerds. Just as a quick warning, we're going to start going through some of the modes, which will include a strobe mode. So if you don't like strobe, please look away now. Let's quickly list off the advertised output modes and runtimes. It features turbo, high, medium, low, firefly, and strobe. At turbo mode, you have 1700 lumens with a runtime of 150 minutes. High mode, you have 950 lumens with a runtime of 165 minutes. You have that medium mode at 180 lumen, which has a runtime of 9 hours. Low mode, 22 lumen, that has a runtime of 62 hours. Then that firefly mode is just 0.5 lumen, which could run for 41 days. And then the strobe mode, which is at 1200 lumen, and it can run for 180 minutes. Now let's go over the mode operation. So you just need to do a single press of the side switch to turn the flashlight on and off, a long press of the side switch to get to firefly mode. To change modes, when the flashlight is turned on, just long press the side switch to circle through low, medium, and high. So it just goes low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Double click at any mode to get to turbo mode, and then do another double click to get to strobe mode. It also has a memory function, so the light will turn on in the last mode that was accessed. So if it was last accessed on high, when you turn it off and then turn it back on, it's going to go back to high. It's not going to do that for firefly, turbo, or strobe. One of the best features of this flashlight is that it is rechargeable using USB, so you just have a USB micro connection that you could access through a little plastic port there. So the indicator on the switch flashes red. That means that the flashlight needs to be charged. So during charging, the indicator is red, and you could only use firefly, low, and medium modes at that particular point. So when it's red, you can't go into turbo or high mode. After the light is fully charged, the indicator light will turn blue, and the indicator will be off when it's in firefly mode. There's a purple light that means that there's abnormal charging, but I've never experienced that. The flashlight is completely waterproof with a rating of IPX8 standard at 2 meters. That stands for the IP code, sometimes known as the ingress protection marking. It's basically a way that manufacturers could provide more information other than the vague term of just waterproof. So each digit stands for something different. There's 2 digits. So the first digit's for solid particle protection. In this particular case, that's an X. So they use that when there's insufficient data that's been gathered. And then the second digit is 8, which is for liquid ingress protection. That's the highest one that you're going to see for flashlights. So this flashlight is suitable for continuous immersion in water under the conditions provided by the manufacturer, which is 2 meters. Now let's move on to the Lux testing that I did for all modes of this flashlight. So what I do is I set up the flashlight with a Lux meter at a distance of 1 meter, and then I use something called inverse square law for calculating what the maximum throw of that particular mode is going to be. So I provided a table over here, and I captured the Lux at 1 meter. So on low mode, we have a Lux of 1200. On medium mode, we have 14,100. On high mode, we have 72,000. And on turbo mode, we have 114,600. And so then I used inverse square law for calculating what the maximum distance for that particular mode is going to be. So all flashlight manufacturers advertise a maximum throw of the flashlight. For example, on this particular one, it says the maximum throw is 750 meters. That actually added up using inverse square law with my calculations, although that's the bare minimum Lux meter reading that you would get, which on my Lux meter is 0.2. So as you can see in the table over here, I have that the maximum throw at the minimum Lux meter reading is actually 757 meters, which is 2,483 feet. So what I like doing is using civil twilight, because at that minimum Lux meter reading, you really can't see anything. But at civil twilight, that's used in court cases for automobile accidents, trains, and everything. And that's the bare minimum Lux at what you could actually distinguish what an item is. So you could distinguish that it's a person, that it's a dog, that it's a car. At 0.2 Lux, you can't really do that. So civil twilight is at 3.4 Lux. So that's what I like testing for my flashlights. So using civil twilight, then I have at low mode that you could have a max throw of 18.8 meters, on medium 64 meters, on high 145 meters, and then on that turbo mode 183 meters. Now that I have this data, I like doing additional field testing to test for twilight illumination. So I have a very dark field that I go to, and I set this particular one up with field markers at every 10 meters. So I went out there with a yardstick basically and measured out 10 meters, put a field marker there so we could kind of give a visual representation of the flashlight throw. And again, I'm testing for civil twilight. Oftentimes I like having an assistant for this particular type of testing just because it's a lot of work. So for this particular video, I'm featuring the Grim Reaper, who is my assistant for the field testing of this ThruNite flashlight. So I did not test for flood since this is a thrower flashlight with very little spill. Starting off on low mode at 22 lumens, here's what the Grim Reaper looks like at civil twilight, again, which is 3.4 Lux. This is at 18.8 meters. Now let's move on to medium mode, again at 180 lumens. So here's what the Grim Reaper looks like at civil twilight, 3.4 Lux, at 64 meters on medium. The ThruNite Catapult V6 has so much throw that it maxed out my field that I use for field testing. So I wasn't able to go out to the 145 meters or the 183 meters, which I calculated for civil twilight for high and turbo modes. So what I did is I put the Grim Reaper all the way to the very end of the field and then tested out both high and turbo. Here's what the Grim Reaper looks like on high mode, which is 950 lumens, at the very max distance of the field that I used for the field testing. Again, this is well above the civil twilight Lux reading of 3.4 Lux. And here's what the Grim Reaper looks like while on turbo mode, again at 1700 lumens. So it's way out there in the distance, but it's very bright with this flashlight. This thing throws at a great distance. I did some additional runtime testing of the ThruNite Catapult V6 just to see if that advertised runtime on turbo and high was accurate. And for both of the modes, I found that the runtime was a lot less than what was advertised. So what I did is I just set the flashlight on the ground next to a clock, and then I had a GoPro that was set in time-lapse mode to capture a photo every minute and then use that to calculate how many minutes it would last for. So for turbo mode, I got a runtime on average of 106 minutes, and I got a very similar one for high mode too at 105 minutes. So on turbo mode, it's advertised as having 150 minute runtime. I was seeing more like 106. And then on high mode, it's advertised as having 165 minute runtime. And I was seeing a runtime of around 105 minutes on average. So the runtimes of turbo and high mode on the Catapult V6 did not perform as well as what's advertised by the manufacturer during my particular testing. So as is the case with most flashlights, that turbo mode really is only in turbo mode for a few moments before stepping down to one of the lower modes. So what I did is I did some additional Lux meter testing and captured the Lux every 30 seconds to see when it would step down. So I saw it stepping down after around 2.5 minutes, and then it would go down to a lower mode closer to high mode, and it would stay on that mode for around 4 minutes or so before stepping down again to closer to that high mode range. And here's a chart that shows what that testing looked like. The reason that it does that step down is to protect the flashlight from overheating. And so while I was doing the step down testing, I was also testing the temperature of the flashlight handle using an infrared thermometer to see how hot it got over time. So I was capturing the temperature every 30 seconds. And what I found in my testing is that after 3 minutes, the flashlight gets to around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 38 degrees Celsius. So that's pretty hot to hold for a flashlight. And it's kind of stays around that range of around 100 degrees Fahrenheit for the remainder of the runtime test. So in my opinion, after 3 minutes, it's pretty hot to hold in the hand. Here's a chart and diagram that shows the temperature over time. Okay, so far we've covered a lot of technical details regarding the ThruNite Catapult V6 rechargeable flashlight. Let's move on now to the pros and cons. Let's start off first with the pros. So the number one pro is the huge amount of throw. This thing maxed out my normal field that I use for Lux testing, and it just throws at a great distance. While you only get that advertised beam distance of 750 meters for a few seconds, and again that's at 0.2 lux, based off of my testing, you'll still get a really good 145 to 180 meters of civil twilight illumination to allow you to distinguish an object at a great distance away. Next is the compact size. I really like the small footprint. It fits nicely in your hand. It's easy to carry, especially compared to those other soda can shaped flashlights that are out there. Those have too much girth for my particular preference. This flashlight is super durable, as all ThruNite flashlights are, especially the Catapult series, which we've stress tested before by smashing fruit. Mine was soaked in battery fluid accidentally for an extended period of time with minimal damage. I love that it is rechargeable using USB micro. The battery indicator light is handy for determining if you're running low on your charge. And then the last pro is the price is right at around $75, oftentimes with discounts available. Other high capacity throwers of this quality are way above the $100 price range. Now let's move on to the cons. So the first con that I have listed is that the on-off button is kind of hard to find in the dark. I would recommend having it raised slightly higher and maybe adding some sort of texture so you could feel its location without having to specifically look for it. Forget about trying to find this thing with gloves on. It's not happening. So as a handheld search and rescue light, this one would probably be better suited to have the button on the tail for quick and easy access. The next con is that it does get hot fairly quickly, as we showed in this video, while on turbo and high modes. So it gets over 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius. Even after it steps down and lumens after around 2.5 minutes for that overheat protection, it still hovers in the north of 100 degree Fahrenheit range, which is pretty hot. The next con that I have listed is that during my particular runtime test, it didn't last as long as what was stated by the manufacturer on turbo and high modes. And then the last con that I have listed is that I would prefer for the USB charging port to be O-ring sealed instead of using that plastic flap, which I feel may rip over time. I would also prefer for them to upgrade to USB-C, which is so much more convenient due to the uniformity of the design. And that's all I have listed for the cons. That's going to do it for this video featuring the ThruNite Catapult V6 mini thrower rechargeable flashlight. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching it. In summary, I think this is a great little thrower of a flashlight with a small form factor and at a reasonable price. I think it'd make a great addition if you're in search and rescue, for if you have a boat, if you're hunting, if you're hiking, for home surveillance, for power outages, if you're a police officer, the list goes on and on. So if you're in the market for a pure thrower at a compact size, the ThruNite Catapult V6 mini thrower rechargeable flashlight is going to be tough to beat. Pound for pound, it might be one of the better ones on the market today. So I've provided all the information regarding this particular flashlight in the description box below. Leave your comments below in the comment section regarding this video. I hope again that you enjoyed watching it. I'm going to be giving this one away to one of you, the viewers. All you have to do is leave a comment in the comment section. In 24 hours from the posting of this video, I'll just be selecting a comment at random and you'll win this ThruNite Catapult V6 flashlight. So again, I hope that you enjoyed watching it and stay tuned for the next video. See ya.